Okay, viewers, a bit of an update. Been pretty busy lately. They get some went to the wrecking yard, the car wreckers, got some bits, and I've seen this device sitting in the been out in the weather for about a year or so, sitting out next to a smashed Corolla on the ground in the wrecking yard with a pile of scrap and rubbish and everything. And I said to the bloke, "Oh, how much you want for the Waeco?" He goes, "This one." I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, it's stuff. It needs to be re-gassed. Doesn't work. $20." So, alright. I took the gamble, $20. Only to find I got a really good score. This is Grouse. I got a really good bang for my buck. This thing works absolutely fine. I've cleaned it up a little bit. It had a bit of a rough, I don't know, the previous owner, whoever has roughed it up and cut a bit out of here. It's supposed to go around, and it goes down here around the input plate. They've cut a bit off and did some modifications or whatever they did. Smashed the emergency button out. You can't get this whole replacement part with that switch. This label is separate. I may yet to get that though. They're not that expensive to get a new one of these. But all bits are available for this. I've hunted high and low and I've found a new sticker for here. This is version A Waeco. This interface has been discontinued completely. They don't make it anymore. They've got version B with a digital display. Now you can get a conversion kit. That little circuit board there, the temperature controller, it interfaces with this control board. And that comes with the upgrade kit, which is called version B, the digital display, which is what Waeco or Dometic now currently use. They've got another updated version, but they're still currently making the digital version, version B of this board, which comes with this circuit board that runs that, which plugs straight in. You're just going to replace that, the circuit board and the wiring loom in between. That upgrades this to version B, which is a more reliable interface, because these buttons can tend to go faulty and play up. But I got scrap TV circuit boards somewhere. I can replace the tactile click buttons on this if I need to. The turbo one I know is worn. It doesn't click, so I've got to replace that button. It does work, but it's just temperamental. But I've cleaned it right up. It had one partition. That's the only accessory it had. The rest of it's gone. But you can still buy those. The basket's missing, you can still get that. The partitions go in there. You can freeze this half and keep this half as a fridge. Stuff you don't want so cold goes in this half with a partition. I can just use it as a fridge. If you want to use it as a freezer, I'll put in here. You can put a lot of stuff in there. It's the CF110, by the way, in case you haven't noticed. The lid's warped, sunburnt and warped. The hinges have been replaced with door hinges. I've got a new set of hinges coming for that. I can get a new lid for this. It's $130 for a new lid, which isn't too bad. This does close alright, but it's just the seal's available too. It does close alright, it's just a bit tight. It scratches up here. It scratches all on here. I'm going to have to buff this down, buff it right down and smooth it out. Yeah, I may get a new lid. Fix this up. There's a plastic strip that goes there and on here. Yeah, the most expensive part of these fridges is the compressor. And the whole actual cooling unit itself is one integrated unit, which plumbs into the evaporator. You can buy the whole compressor condenser unit as a whole. That's $800. That's the most expensive part of these fridges. The compressor itself is only about $300 on its own. It's a Danfoss German-made compressor. Later the day they came, I think it was after 2014, C-Cop brought Danfoss out. So the Danfoss compressor in there. But this thing actually, I did run it on test. Had it on test for about 14 hours. All the cycles, it cycled off, got the temperature right and froze okay, so this is all functioning. The temperature probe's okay, so they can fail on some of these models too, which is underneath here, little thermistor. This doesn't really work, but that's useless anyway. A door light. I was quite wrapped with this. It's all full of these sitting in mud. It was all buried up in here in mud, so I had to pour this out, took all the wiring out, and lifted the compressor up and just cleaned everything, blew it all, vacuumed it all, cleaned it all out. Right, contact cleaned and lubricated the switch and all the electrical connections. The circuit board cleaned up all right. The fan's okay, cleaned all the fins. There's a bit of surface rust on the compressor, but yeah. It's not that's absolutely nothing like this Kirby here. It's nothing like that. But yeah, this thing works absolutely fine. All the bits for this are available. It's a good thing about these Waecos, or Dometic now. All parts are available. You just can't get this plastic part foot that bolts onto the cabinet. This whole complete plastic part you can't get. You can get the feet, the mount for the compressor, you can get the lid, that plastic part, the buttons, other major parts you can still get. You can even get a new decal. But yes, I'm going to have to buff this right up with a buffer, just so it doesn't scratch up the fridge a lot when I go to close it. It does work, it's manageable, it still latches closed, it's just a bit of effort to open it. I want to clean this plastic up, try and restore some of that and protect it. I know I was quite wrapped with that for 20 bucks, it was a good gamble. I got more bang for my buck with this, works absolutely fine. It's amazing that you can find at the wreckers. But yeah, I want to fill up the plastic tech screw holes once the new hinges arrive. That'll make the door line up a little bit better too. It's quite a hefty one, this one. Couldn't fit in the car. I had a friend with me. I had to get them. They want to look for a replacement car, so they're looking at the wreckers to fix their current car. That's why I was there when I found this. So, while I'm out, I grab this. And yeah, I ended up putting this in the back of their Toyota Corolla. Folded the back seats down. It just fitted. It was kind of muddy and dirty, but it fitted in there. So cleaned their car out. This thing was a pigsty, but it's cleaned up quite well now. I'm wrapped with this. Made by Waeco. Waeco never really made features on their own. Waeco built stuff for Waeco, which is now Dometic Electrolux, which is Dometic also owns Enerdrive, the Australian company that was making DC solar charge controllers, batteries. It was an Australian owned company, but now they're part of Dometic Electrolux now. And yeah, I did some research, and this was actually a Chinese knockoff of an Evercool. I think it's EM55 or something model. It's a 55 litre Evercool Coolmate knockoff. And looks like the bits for that are interchangeable with this, so that lid can fit. The DC plug I've changed. I've had to cut the hole in the back and put a Waeco DC input plug on this, so I'll accommodate the Waeco cord, more commonly available cord. The cord and socket that's used, the cable, which is non-existent, you can't get parts, just a knockoff Chinese one-off thing for this originally. But this thing runs better now. Working reliably, the stupid cable was a fault. But yeah, it's a Evercool knockoff. Nice stainless steel, I do like that. For a cheap fridge, it's not too bad. This is a Damas compressor, a Damas knockoff Danfoss stuff in China. Qualities, yeah, it's alright. It's reliable, but it's just power hungry. That's the main drawback with the Damas. These, on the other hand, are very efficient. The proper Danfoss running gear in these little portable fridges and freezers. Stick with Danfoss or your Engels. Damas, yeah, they're good. For Chinese, they are, but you lose big time with the power consumption. They are power hungry. This does use a fair bit of power compared to that big Waeco. Something you've got to keep in mind. Anyway, thanks for watching.